and we spoke to Warren, and we saw them working on the distribution box because evidently it fired itself again. And Warren said it's going to be at least another half hour. I'm not dressed properly. Another half hour, 45 minutes, and well, lo and behold, there is still a picture. So maybe they have finished already. I can't get hold of anybody at Vuyatela to let me know whether they have finished working on it. But we're going to try anyway. If we do lose picture and you do get a black screen, it's because power's gone down again, because they are working on the wires. In the meantime, we're going to just head out and we're going to try and just do what we can, and with a little bit of luck we'll just have a continuous game drive without interruptions. Steering's great on the jigger. Patrick, Herman and I worked on it this morning. Sadly Rex is not feeling very well, and that sort of has implications later on for Walala Wasala, so sadly I don't think we're going to be doing Walala Wasala this evening. While I'm talking, there's a beautiful kudu bull lying down in the shade. It's a very hot day today. Somehow I think it's hotter, actually. Herman, what do you think?
Than yesterday?
Yeah, I think it's hotter than yesterday.
Yeah, it does feel hotter than yesterday.
It's hard to sort of get nitpick about the heat when one day is 41 and another day is 42, but it is a little bit hotter today. Okay, look at this kudu bull. He's just flat kudu. When did we last see a flat kudu? I don't think I've seen a kudu lying down like that since very cold temperatures in winter. Here we go. Here's Warren. Go ahead, Warren.
Okay, we're going to switch off the power again.
Okay, thanks, Warren. Alright, thanks a lot, bud. Alright, there we go. Message from Vuyatela. They've got to switch off the power again and work on some wires. So, Patrick will take you to Gary, and hopefully my messages will get through. We'll see you in a little while as soon as power comes back. Yes, check that kudu bull. I've never seen a kudu bull lying down like that.
You feel it?
Not quite. He's just that shows how hot it is. I mean, to have a kudu bull lying down with his head flat on the ground like that. I mean, there's another one. Sadly, he's behind bushes. It's got a little bit forward. We were stopped in the side. Can you? Having a go with the bushes.
Oh no, I'm looking at another one.
Oh, the other one lying down. Hopefully you're still with us. I hope you're still with us. I don't know how long it takes for them to switch off power. Now we're in the sun, but still, there we go. Another kudu bull lying down in the shade, and one kudu bull feeling at youngster. Horribly energetic for this time of the day in this heat. Getting his horns into a tree and a little bit of displacement aggression, a little bit of sparring. Patrick, come in. Well, so much for going back to Gary, just as well. It could be that maybe now they're only working on a section of line for Vuyatela and not for Yuri's house, and we still seem to be fine, which is very good news. I wonder if we can maybe just find a spot in the shade to watch these kudu, because we're cooking here. Temperature at the moment is only about 34-35 degrees in the shade, but sitting here in the sun it pushes it up to above 40, which is well over 100. Let's see, let's do this. Just pop off here into the shade. Oh, look at that bull up on the termite mound. Another two bulls approaching that same termite mound. Got some wonderful kudu bulls here at the moment. I think a lot of us know this particular group of bulls. No, there's 5, there's 6 of them. The 2 groups of 3 that have come back together again. That is not a very common sight to see so many kudu bulls together. So wonderful, so majestic, and so just such big bulls. I think we must be very lucky to have them as, I guess we could call them residents, since we see at least some of them all the time. And the game drive's coming out already. Warren, come in.
Okay.
Is power out at Weir's?
That's what I know.
Sorry, go again?
Not that I know.
I thought you said you were switching off.
I'm switching on.
Oh, okay, thanks. I could have sworn he said switching off. Alright, well, let's head out. Come back this way a little later. Well, that explains why we got picture. Honestly could have sworn Warren said switching power off. So I was confused that we had power and it was supposed to have been off. But still, we're lucky. As you can see, Jigger's looking pretty good, steering sounding solid. And right now I think not much stands in our way other than a few impala. Morning everybody. Hello kids. The nursery. I guess some of them have seen us for a few times, but I think they get ignored so much. I think it's unusual for them to see the vehicle stop and look at them. On my right in the shade are all the females feeding and replenishing their milk supplies in some of the thicker bush. All these youngsters corralled together into a little nursery group. That kudu's from here. Thanks, Kay. Kay saying that the one that was lying down is an older bull, thinking about moving to Michigan. Excuse me, children. I just want to go back because he's actually just stood up and all of these bulls are starting to move now. Sorry, kids. Some of the youngsters are starting to move across the road behind us back to their moms. That's the bull that was lying down, that's the big one. Standing high in the sun.
Oh, there's another one lying down.
Oh, he hasn't stood up yet, that one that's lying down. He's the one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the one on the termite mound 6. What I want to do is I want to head way west, being such a hot afternoon. Let's head way up to Impala Plains, or rather Sandy Patch first. Go look for some ellie tracks up there, and then make our way to the east so that we've got the sun behind us for I guess for most of the afternoon. And perhaps later when we come back this way, these boys will still be around quarantine. Just want to move out of the road. But look at that, sorry, just one more shot. Those 3 together. I'll be hiding one of them. I'm so enthralled by these kudus. I think they're so amazing. Another one standing up because all the rest of the boys are moving on. But it is very, very hot here, so we want to just get a bit of airflow. Maybe a bit later we'll come by and see if they're still around. Hi, Kathy. Kathy was just asking if there's a purpose to the stamping of the front feet. I think if I understand correctly, we see Impala doing it. All these youngsters are now lying down. The nursery group, they all relaxed again. Hey little one, out of the road. Didn't your mother tell you not to play in the road? I've seen horses do it as well. I mean, I always thought it was just to chase off biting flies. The stomping of the legs. I don't think there's any behavioural purpose to it. But I guess I may be wrong there. I'll have to watch a lot closer and see if I can interpret some other meaning to it. Talk about being wrong. We've got to set the record straight. From last night's drive, when I stopped for that flower, that what I said was a devil's thorn was actually a devil's claw, and pointed out to me by Lynn in Canada. I always thought, being the same family, I just thought it was also one of the devil's thorns, just a darker flower, a little bit denser, or rather a little bit bigger flower, not as dainty. I've actually marked it in my book, funnily enough, which we can talk about in a bit. Just the moment the sun's in front of us, we'll wait till the sun's behind. Nice big snake track. Wait till the sun's behind us a little bit. There were some elephant further east earlier, but I think on a hot day like today they would have been looking for water, whether they went up to Sydney's dam or whether they went maybe towards the south. questionable. We'd have to go and look at tracks for that. Excuse me, Dove. But there are some mud pans further up on Vuyatela access road, Vuyatela driveway, which this is. Ellie's might still be around, or we might find some tracks and follow. And we can also just not necessarily look for one thing in particular, but just have a wonderful afternoon seeing whatever it is that we can find. Book-wise, I brought this one today, if we get the time. Lovely book on grasses, only because they're all flowering at the moment, and time to brush up on our knowledge of grasses. It looks like, no, it's not. I thought it was maybe Jesse's, but it's not. It is Wildlife Faction Building. Fine and you? Good.
Can't complain.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you busy at Yuri's house?
That's like it.
So, have a very Merry Christmas.
The same to you.
Thanks.
I hope you see a lot.
I'm sure we shall.
Nice Christmas presents.
Yeah. See you in Hoodspray. Bye. See, Land Rovers are good for us. Everybody drives it. Everybody knows it. What's good for them. So, alright, I guess we talked about that flower yesterday that I called a devil's thorn, which is actually a devil's claw. And, well, the devil's thorn is known as a Dicerocarium. I mentioned that because it has those two horns, those two thorns, and Diceros or Dicero in the Dicerocarium part meant two horns, and well, it isn't. Let me just do the radio. Okay, Johnny. In the distance. Stop here in the shade. Interesting to see what could be causing such a pall of smoke this time of the year. It's so way in the distance, I haven't the faintest idea what it could be. Does it look like it's coming from a koppie or something? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it might be coming from Kopi.
And it's like that, but such dark smoke, it's either a car or it's certainly not a bushfire or anything. Bush can't burn green. Anyways, flower we saw yesterday was called Harpagophytum, and it's a combination of two words, that phytum meaning plant, about phytoplankton, that's plant plankton. So anything PHYTO refers to and the name
trouble finding.
Let's try that again. Really bad signal area between Sandy Patch and Impala Plains now. It seems that that entire stretch of road is completely a no-go as far as signal is concerned. And for that whole stretch of road we had an elephant track walking on the road, big elephant bull. I mean, his feet were this big, it was huge. Also in must, had all the signs on the road that he is in must. But he carried on south where we've turned now east back on into our signal range towards Zoe's Road. So unfortunately we've lost out on that big Ellie bull, and we're going to just continue to see what it is that we can find. A bird egg. I found a bird egg at Final Control today. Must be lots of babies hatching. Bad case of bird egg fever. My finger is might have to be amputated. Looking at two little marks here, it looks like something was pecking at it from the outside. But that could have just been when it blew out of the tree. Could have been. A lot of birds actually fly away with their with the eggshells because it hides the fact that their babies have been born. But every indication that this was there we go, in the sun. Every indication that this was a proper hatching. Now I found a little eggshell today, half an egg like this, just outside Final Control, outside our kitchen. And I would say I would probably be able to fit 3, maybe 4 of those eggs into this. Now this would be a dove, I'm guessing like a Cape turtle dove. The egg I found this morning, something small, I guess like a sunbird, because it was mottled. Okay, on we go. I was also talking about the flowers earlier, just before Sandy Patch. I'm going to have to find one again to show you. But yes, thanks Lynn, it's a devil's claw, not a devil's thorn. And although they're the same family, they are a little bit different. They have the same textures of the leaves and things, different medicinal uses. The devil's claw, I have learnt today, that has remarkable medicinal value. In fact, it is harvested in vast numbers in Namibia, and it has been harvested to such an extent that it has become quite a threat species in places because of so many uses for the plant. One of them is actually for rheumatoid arthritis and gout, and I'm a sufferer of gout from time to time. But evidently it helps the body get rid of uric acid, which is very interesting to know. I need to learn more about it. So which way is it going to be? Let me think. Zoe's. Another elephant. Is that elephant? No, not. Older track from an elephant. And as hot as it is, Karula is at Philemon's Dip. I have just heard on the radio. I wonder what she's doing on a hot day like this. So the one thing I really have to do, because I noticed it was seek pointed, I think it was Kathy that maybe seek pointed that flower yesterday as a Tribulus. Tribulus sahiri, but Tribulus sahiri is a very yes, we just have to fiddle with wires again. Thanks, Patrick. They made a movie, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We need to make a movie, The Grinch Who Stole Mark's Game Drives. If it's not steering, it's power. If it's not power, it's sound. What else is... Let's just... knock on wood. But let's just get this over with, because there was a seek point to that flower that I showed you yesterday, which is this one. Turn it like that. The Harpagophytum. Sorry, other books are just blowing in the wind. A bit windy. But you can see this beautiful seed pod, somewhat different to the devil's thorn, known as the devil's claw. Oh, it's grazed my shin, never mind. But this is the flower we had yesterday, and somewhat different. Let's go a page back to show you. Somewhat different, but somewhat similar in that it is it's a geophyte. It's a ground-dwelling plant. It grows prostrate on the ground. This is the devil's thorn, and here you can see, if you can zoom in on that, there are the two little horns on the devil's thorn that give it its name, Dicerocarium, the two-horned seed. And this up top here is another Harpagophytum, same family as the devil's claw. I don't know what its English name is. It doesn't have it in this book, but that's Harpagophytum zahiri. So I'm not sure if Kathy was referring to that and just put in tribulus, but tribulus refers to the three hooks on, or rather the three thorns on the tribulus, and the devil's thorn only has two. But nonetheless, that is our flower from yesterday. You can maybe zoom in on the name here, so that maybe Kathy can just amend that seek point. Harpagophytum procumbens, and the derivation, harpagos meaning a hook, and phytus meaning a plant, and procumbens referring to its prostrate manner of growth. And I think that's what we've got for plants for today, or for flowers for today, or for now. We're going to carry on, see what else is around. Maybe get to Karula in a little while. Wildflowers in northern South Africa. Paintings by Anita Fabian, and Gerard Hermeshuizen did the text. Lovely paintings. I've got one other book, and this is the book that doesn't have any of the Harpagophytums in it, which is the book that I've mainly been using over the years. I mean, this book comes from way back when. But here's the devil's thorn flower. That is a same shape and grows similar, but it's just, as you can see, a lot pinker. Lynn in Canada did send me some photos from a drive that I did much earlier in the year, probably back at the end of summer, of the devil's thorn holding one of those flowers. And it was actually quite amazing, because all you can see is the thumb and other two fingers holding the flower, but I looked at that thumb and I immediately knew it was mine. So that's what happens when you jump to conclusions about identifying things, or just identify them too quickly without thinking too hard about it. And in the process, proving how fantastic Wild Earth is, because with this constant input from everybody out there, and the discussion that can follow, we all learn new things. And so I learned something new today, that although it is the same family as the devil's thorn, give up with the sound problems, folks. I'm just not going to talk for a while. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just a little bit disheartening, and I'm trying to tell you all sorts of things, and we just can't get things right.
Just contact east from the I was concerned about. Well, if it becomes quarantine, maybe it's the effect of the effect and the running out of the food and notifying
Wishful thinking, trying to hold a spider. You can't hold spiders when you want to, and I don't think we're going to get a view of it. But this puddle in the road. There's a fishing spider in it. Remarkable spiders, fishing spiders. Closely related to the wolf spiders, I think. But they have a very distinct lateral white line coming down the side of the thorax and the abdomen. And the front two legs, rather the front two pairs of legs, are held very still on the surface of the water, just touching the meniscus, just denting the meniscus of the water. The hind two legs on land, and those front two pairs of legs sense any vibration either under or on the surface of the water. The spider, with all the hairs on its legs, is able to actually run along the surface of the water, but it is also able to dive down underneath the vegetation, as well as dive down and actually grab hold of a fish or a tadpole or an aquatic insect. And for most of the dry season, well, for the whole of the dry season, they live on land, and they hunt on land. But as soon as there are puddles and bits of water, they hunt on the water. There's a greater chance of catching little things that hop around and maybe get stranded on the surface of the water, and fishing spider cleans them up. They're about that big. And well, I've reached down to try and pick it up to show you. It was quite elusive, and they don't like scents they don't like our sweat, our scent, our body oils. As much as some people hate spiders and are afraid of them, one has to keep in mind that spiders very, very seldom will sit on you. Sometimes the only way to hold a spider is to actually rub dirt on the hands and take the human scent away, and then hold a spider. Last night Rex and I had that crash of Rhino. I wonder where they went. Probably crossed over Gary Main because there are no tracks around here. Ephraim, come in.
Yeah, I got it.
Afternoon and Ford. Did you do drive this morning?
Yeah, I got it.
Did you pick up any in Kombi and Kwanzaa?
I told him I was driving at W2 side.
Okay, copy, thanks. What was found this morning?
Yeah, go.
Where was in Love?
Big Jam.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, last night on our night drive we found that small crash of Nkombi just off Weaver's Nest, Twin Dams way.
Okay, copy. Yeah, my contact.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did book one going on Kombi on Twin Dam Road, south of Karula.
okay, yeah, I think that was the same ones. Then they went. They went west, and then I think they might have gone over Gary Main. But thanks a lot. So we lost Karula last night. She must have headed further west, done something around Zoe's Road, and maybe fetched the boys around Gary Dam. It's possible. Have to wait and hear and listen and see what developments take place. The Rhino didn't come this way by the looks of things. I'm not seeing any tracks on the road here. Unless they further to the east they did. Egyptian goose, treehouse. And who's that on the damn wall? Noble duck? Where my far look is. Looks like a noble duck. It is female noble duck. Not watching where I'm going, to the gully. Oops. I'm going to go onto the wall to look up the point where the dam ends, just in case there's something wallowing there. Hey, mother duck, flying onto the water. I can hear baby weavers actually, here in the weaver nest. Teresa's weaver nest. You can hear babies inside there. A little high-pitched squeak. No, nobody here wallowing. Only mama duck swimming. gonna go back this way now. Copy, thanks. Smell an elephant. Sally, it was a calculated guess. Based on her being at Philemon's dip, that being Philemon's cut line, fresh dung heading in that direction, only Karula was found. I guess I couldn't be 100% sure, but I was just taking a real good guess that it was Karula's tracks. We saw her heading west last night, and now that she's come back to the eastern part of where she was where she'd been heading, I was just a guess, just a guess. But I think some of the guys can tell. I think that at the moment Karula's tracks are pretty much the same size as her boys. And I think if we had to have all three of them walking on the road and then to stop and actually have a look at each individual track on the road, we might find some sort of diagnostic feature for each one of them. A toe that might be skew, little quirks here and there that we might learn over time. If we go to Gary Main, we're going to lose signal, so let's stay on this side of things. Oh, there was a green pigeon that just flew past us. Might find it on Elephant Skull Road. Diedrich's cuckoo.
What kingfisher is that?
I was going to say brown hooded, but it's looking more like a chestnut bellied. But then maybe a female, because the chestnut isn't so strong. I mean, now this is quite, would be quite a thing to see one of them, because they're normally a very strictly water kingfisher, aquatic. Grey hooded, sorry, not brown. It's a grey hooded kingfisher. Let me just see where we are in the book. Here we go.
It's not one of those.
Pardon?
So it's not one of those.
Oh, it is. It's this one.
This one's got purple on the wings. That's got blue.
No, it's a lovely dark blue, but it's can. It's the only one that it can be, and I think this was once called the chestnut belly, or maybe I'm thinking of an East African species. But this is it here. The female might have lesser marking. We need to look at that shoulder patch. Can't see. Let me just look in my. Let's do this. But yeah, we see woodlands. We see brown hooded. Occasionally, if we're lucky, we see stripes. But this is not a very common kingfisher. I suppose it looks purple because it's so dark in the shade.
Yeah, I'm also thinking it might be.
But
But it's not exactly that blue, it's there.
I mean, none of the brown. Look at this. The brown hooded and the striped. And they don't have. They're just different. We've got black tip there. We've got black on the top of the beak there. It is the only kingfisher that it can be. I think it used to be called. Somebody can just check for me, Dave, if you're watching. Leucocephala. Actually, Leucocephala refers to whitehead. Look, he has a little bee eater as well. Who was on a drive yesterday that wanted to look at birds?
Malak, what's his name? Can't remember now.
Mika.
Mika, yeah. I think it was Mika.
I think it was Mika. In the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Tori.
Yep. Now you remember all the names.
Coming back to me.
Check this one.
Yeah.
On the picture, it's also got a little bit of brown at the top, but doesn't that matter?
Brown where? Here.
Yeah.
On the top of the shoulder.
Yeah.
No, it's hard to see. The thing is that this is strikingly a male, and that might be the female. It's a little bit duller.
Okay.
Let me just put that up a little.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to prolong this because we're sitting in the shade at the moment. So
You are, not me. I'm sitting in the sun, in the shade of my hat on my face.
Let's have one more look.
But that chestnut belly, that's why I think it used to be called, or maybe it was the grey-hooded and is now called the chestnut belly. But that chestnut colour that's diagnostic. None of the other kingfishers have got that. And this is also it's a migrant as well from other parts of Africa in the same way as the woodlands kingfisher is, but it is an uncommon bird. I mean, it is not a bird you see very often. In fact, I'd be surprised if we even see another one this summer. I don't even know the call of this bird. I've seen them regularly. I've seen them up in East Africa regularly.
It's quite chilled, eh?
Yeah.
Or she, rather. Pirates.
How's the sound now? Thanks, Pet. Penny, thanks. Penny and Derbs, categorically a grey-hooded kingfisher. Now, I want to know which name is the correct one though. Because chestnut, I used to know it as a chestnut belly. While we're on birds and flowers and things, let's just have a look at this Ancelia, because I've established that. Oops, a little bit too far.
You're trying to be funny by saying I'm Celia.
Pretty awkward. I don't know how close. I might have to drive in to see, because I've established that the tree orchid that we've got on Rebecca's Road is a leopard tree orchid, and I think that this one is the other subspecies, the more common one, because the one on Rebecca's Road is the rarer one of the two.
You're hoping to get as close as possible?
Are you on extended?
No, I'm not yet.
On what's his name, Zoom? We still can't. Flowers are a little bit closed. Can't really tell from this distance whether they got the spots on or not. This is a bit thick to go in there, but I think, let me just look at my binoculars quickly. Maybe that's the target. Graham, come in.
How you doing, man?
Patrick, come in.
How much I need one of those, man? There was really a group of five been hanging around just east of Lion Pen open area, or Lion Pen open area, and then also around Creek Camp, and then east of...
Sounding like they've now got one of the boys around Gowrie Dam, and Patrick's going to be helping look for that, because with all the vehicles there we can't get there yet, which is fine because they can all get there full, and hopefully when it starts getting a little bit hot, or cooler rather, everybody's going to head on. Evidently the Styx Pride was down there near Nkoro earlier today, and maybe everybody's going to move on to Nkoro before the sun goes down, or after they're finished with Karula and the boys, and we'll be able to get there. But just to show you quickly the two different Ancelia orchids that we get. The one we have on Rebecca's Road is this one here, Ancelia gigantea nilotica. And I think this one is this one without the spots.
Yeah, I also think it's
the variation gigantea, the giant one, is a lot bigger. Characteristically grows in dead leadwoods, which it is. I think that means that we've got both subspecies of tree orchids here, and I've been waiting since I arrived here to see the flowers on these orchids to confirm whether they were just the same subspecies or the same, or rather two different ones. Have some water. This thing was solid ice an hour ago. It's completely defrosted. Keep the kidney hydrated. Off we go. Linda was asking about about the birds. I think Linda knows about the bees, but asking about, telling me rather, that some parrots actually consume the eggshells of their hatched, after their young have hatched, which helps with the calcium for the next. Well, I suppose it helps with calcium after having used up calcium to create the eggs. And Linda wanting to know what birds do it here, and I have to say I haven't the faintest idea. I really don't know. I wasn't really aware that some of the birds ate their eggshells, but it doesn't surprise me considering if you look at spiders reconsume their silk to reabsorb the protein, because that's what their silk is, it's a protein. Waste not, want not, I guess. I'd have to look into it a little. Species do that here. And since Linda's mentioning parrots, I think I'll stick with the parrots that we get here, the brown-headed parrots. I just don't have my big bird book here. I'll phone Pete and ask him if I can use his in the meantime. A big bird book, I mean a big bird book. Like big and as much info as you'd expect from a book that size. Rather than just pretty cocktail pictures, it's got a lot of information. Big bird. Duckweed. The stuff that's growing on the surface of this pond is not algae, it's duckweed. Tiny little plants. Were they behind us?
Don't know.
It's actually duckweed is a very important filtering plant. I don't think it's indigenous, funny enough. I think it comes in from other parts of the world, comes in with birds. Let me check If I got it in my book. Not in that one. Somebody can check for me. Lynn, Canada, duckweed. Can't remember the scientific. No, I do know I've got it in one of my other flower books, but not one from this part of the world. So that's one of my flower books that must be the butterfly. Variable mimic. Might have grass. There we go. It's been drinking. Actually flew right towards me because I was talking about it. Known as a variable mimic, I think. But then it could be a fryer. Either mimics the fryer or it mimics the apple. Well, I did say I was going to try and stick to areas where we do have signal and try and avoid signal shadow areas. But Herman and I have just been talking about it. We've got a lot more areas now that are signal breakup areas than we've had last season. So we've got to relearn, or rather we've got to find out where all these new areas are that don't have signal. For now though, everything should be good. I mean, we're heading up Mumba Road up towards, I'm going to do a loop back Bachelor and then go back up Central maybe. I don't know, we'll hang around this area, this western slope that faces the mast that we transmit from, or that picks up our signal, and hopefully hopefully you won't lose me too much. I don't know, I sometimes wonder how much information you're actually getting or what I'm saying. Hopefully most of it. Just getting back to duckweed. Duckweed, a very important filtering plant and a very high source of protein for protein. There are proteins in it, but it's just nutrition. The plant itself has quite a high fodder value for things like chickens. I just remember learning a lot about it when we put in a place I was working. We put in what's called a biodigester. Instead of a septic tank where all of the byproducts of septic waste go to waste, actually harvesting all those byproducts, one of them being a gas that can be a volatile gas that can be burnt off for cooking, and in order to filter the water that comes out of a biodigester we use duckweed. So get a lot of the phosphates, get a lot of some of the nasties out of the water. Doesn't make it excuse me, doesn't make it potable, but it makes it very good for irrigation, for agriculture. Hello, dragonfly. Dragonflies sometimes think that the dark green bonnet, hood rather, depending on which country you're from. We call it a bonnet, you call it a hood. In the States, Canada. I think it's water, and I've often seen dragonflies trying to lay eggs on it. Another thing I wanted to mention was that right throughout the dry season we saw that warthog with her child from a previous litter on the other side of Gari Dam, very, very often with the baboon and impala coming down to drink during the day between drives. And lately she's come back with 3 new babies. And that's very exciting as well. 3 new little ones. My throat. That's why I must stop talking. Throat gets so itchy. I noticed Alima was focusing on Mama Warthog and her daughter and her 3 new ones quite a lot today. They were actually feeding just behind all the buffalo. It was quite a lovely picture, really. Sorry.
Going to first. Just before we get to the dam terminal, look up to your left and you will see just for the little boy lying up in the corner over there. To be on the solo itself, I guess. Yeah, if you go through the solo and right in front of going up there below me, there's some big log beds lying about down the log in the little gully. A little bit of visual on the curve because there's lots of little bush.
One of the boys lying just below the dam wall, so Patrick won't be able to pick him up from the camera at the dam. Maybe they'll move a little later. Still vehicles there. Heading up to Cheetah Cutline. Do a little bit of a loop around here today. Just an email, I didn't quite get the name, Alan I think, to say peregrine falcons also eat the eggshells of the chicks after they hatch. Water is not helping. Go south a little bit and then come back on Drakensberg, perhaps. Excuse me, doves. Feet are starting to cook in the wheel well. I mean the foot well. 11 tracks, tortoise tracks. Elephant's not too fresh.
Is it what you talking about, folks?
I stole it for visualizing that demonstrating receipt number.
Ja, hallo, ik wil maar gevaarlijk dat dan weer en dan wel somehow iets inside van mij gevaarlijk voor long.
Eastern side of the damn wall. Graham talking Shanghai. Been an elephant here heading south. Don't know. Might still be around, maybe not. Tracks don't look very fresh. We can try. Smell smoke. Sort of almost bush smoke, bushfire. There's a bit of hazy, smoky. Maybe smoke from a campfire somewhere, just wafting over. Another kudu bull. That makes 6. Or were there 6 down? Were there 6 on quarantine? That makes number 7 then. He's a lot shyer. And off he goes. Oh, that might be a record number of big kudu bulls in one game drive. Past the old hyena den. Last year this time there were some tiny little pups here and they grew up and then they changed dens and raised some pups in the other den. Doesn't look like there's anything happening at this den. Very little in the way of tracks around here, so nobody's even been to visit. the porcupine that might have been living here. Oops! I dropped my rock.
It's alright.
Wires getting caught. Me and my rocks. This is my new pet rock. Rolled out of the jigger. Found it just before we started the drive. And the side of it is pretty smooth. And this part of it seems to have been worked or chipped. I need to look at it a little bit better later to see whether it has actually been worked into the shape. Of course, this side is natural. Natural to the extent that it might have been worn smooth by grinding something. Might have been an old grinding stone. But there are no clean breaks here, which makes me think that some of this has been chipped away to create this shape. It's a little bit big for the average hand. There's a little indentation for a thumb. Could be, I don't know. Could be that it was used for softening skins. Sorry, I'm just looking at somebody in the tree here. Bird. It is a ground scraper. Yeah, a pair of ground scraper thrushes. Also, we don't see too often.
What is it up? Just old driveway, Gary Main. Yeah, come west.
Who's that on Chitwa Gary Main?
There's Jacques.
How's it, dude? Oh, we're just looking at ground scraper thrush. What have you guys got?
Some coffee.
Close to Gary Main.
Yeah, but it's just a little bit more west from where I'm now.
Okay, cool. I might have to come down and have a look. Had one of the other vehicles from, I don't even know where that, maybe they're in Coral, maybe...
It's in Karula, yeah.
Is it in Coral?
Yeah.
One of them, is it Jacques?
Yeah.
Jacques from Nkoro.
We met him once, remember? At Ned's house.
Herman, I can meet Jacques 5 times and I still won't know it's Jacques. If it was Jacqueline, I would say, Jacqueline, I remember you, we met briefly. But for guys, I have to meet them 20 times before I remember them. But anyway, Jacques just stopping on Gary Main to see what we were looking at. I don't think he quite believed me that we were just looking at a ground scraper thrush. See, there are monkey tracks here. But somewhere down here towards the west on Gary Main, and hopefully we still have signal. Some rhino. And be interesting to see which side of the road they're on. Do you know, Herman, if the 2-vehicle rule applies if it's on Gary Main and none of the vehicles are Juma vehicles?
No, it's actually free for all. It's on Gary Main.
Free for all on Gary Main?
No, it's not. I'm joking. Yeah, it's.
I mean, I don't want to break a 3-vehicle rule. I mean, if there are 3 vehicles already, I won't go there. But I mean, if there are only 1 or 2, then I'm sure it shouldn't be a problem, especially if it's visible. It's just right up ahead of us. Let me just talk to Jacques. Jacques, come in for Mark Wilder.
Then Brian.
How many vehicles you got there?
3, and I think there's the first and second standby.
Okay, I'll come back later. Thanks. Alright, now we can't put that much pressure on an animal, so let's give it a miss. I'm seeing a number of tortoise tracks on the road. Judging by the way, let me look there. They're all looking to the left anyway, off of our property, so. Who's this, Ryan or?
Must be Ryan. How's Jason?
How's it, Jason?
You won't turn up when you're on with
No, good in you. I was, but then I heard there are too many vehicles there, so I'll maybe come pop in a little bit later. Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hot enough for you?
Just about.
Just about. Good.
Coffee yesterday.
We were thinking it was a bit hotter today.
Well, that's right, but I was shut down here.
But I think it's semantics. So a couple of degrees either way.
Yeah, what the hell?
Of hot, it's hot. See you later, Jason. Bye. There's a bit of cloud build-up way there in the east. Okay. We're just in the wrong place at the wrong time today. Can't get to the leopard, can't get to the rhino. We'll go find our own. Back to cheetah cut line. Let's go find our own things. We'll go down to Drakensberg Drive, up to Guaripan, head on to Buffelshoek Dam, and Herman and I can take a swim with Buffelshoek Dam while we're on our break. So at least I don't cool my feet down. My feet are cooking the wheel well. Why did I say wheel well? Foot well. This place where I put my feet. So close to the gearbox and the engine. Thank you, Patrick. You take a break now. We're going to swim at Buffelshoek. Okay, we're going to leave it a few more minutes, Patrick. Get to Buffelshoek. I don't know if we will take a swim. Now I'm certainly going to walk in and wet my feet. Oh, there is a big snake track on top of us. Snake, it must have just been there. On top of our tracks from a few minutes ago. Let's just do the whole of cheetah cut line and then go down to Buffelshoek. And come back along Drakensberg Drive, maybe catch a sunset. We can somehow get to Gowrie Dam, hopefully get to see Karula later. Just towards the end of drive. Breasted swallows. Starting to turn into a beautiful late afternoon. Temperature's dropping a little bit. Becoming a little bit more pleasant. Sadly, we don't see too many snakes on the road because it's so open for them that they don't hesitate. They actually speed up when they're crossing a road. Too many raptors up there in the sky that are just looking for an opportunity to swoop down on a snake. Not seeing any raptors at the moment, but snakes don't know that. They just see an open patch of ground and they race to cross it. I wish we would see more. Hi Sue, thanks for the reminder. I'm sure there are quite a few leeches in Buffelshoek Dam. I don't mind leeches, just to cool my feet down. Be able, just a quick dip and should be able to get them off pretty easily. But Sue wanting to know if the sticks are still in the area. Well, they are in the area, they're just not in our area. I heard that they were down at Nkoro this morning. Listening to the radio.
Along the dam wall, once you go down to the peak, look to the right, there's a log, dry log, falling down there. That you find always right behind that. You have to stop and
Okay. Talking about some of the, one or two of the boys below the dam wall where they often hang out. The sticks. Sue in the UK. Not an out-traversing area, but they are at Nkoro at the moment. Hope they'll come back our way one of these days. Been hearing about terrible travel problems in the UK and in the US. Planes grounded. There was an American Airlines plane that overshot the runway in Kingston, I think, Jamaica. Ended up on the beach. Sorry to hear about that. Not nice to have these kind of things happen around Christmas time. Fortunately, only minor injuries there. Maybe a couple of broken bones. Evidently another plane that's skipped off the end of a runway in the UK somewhere. Then there was the Channel Tunnel, the trains that 6 trains I think, something like 6 trains that were stuck in the Channel Tunnel. People stranded for 15, 16 hours at a time. Flights grounded because of weather. I think there's Christmas holiday chaos in the travel world at the moment, so I'm really sorry to hear that. And if we can if we can brighten up some of that gloom that is descending on the northern hemisphere with the weather. Welcome to Africa, even if it be only through your computer. There's a not a debate, but a thought-provoking question. From Sharon. How well do snakes see? Well, I think, Sharon, that is another question that I have to start my answer with. It depends. So this is a question that I can't give a general answer to, because not all snakes see the same way. For example, some of the fossorial snakes, the snakes that live underground, I was thinking Central Road, no. Snakes that live underground that have evolved, adapted to an underground fossorial existence, have pretty much lost their eyesight. They have vestigial eyes. Some of them have merely these little pinpricks that can distinguish between night and day or dark and light. And then we have snakes like some of the tree snakes that have excellent vision. And then somewhere in between, some of the snake, the vipers, that have heat sensors. They don't necessarily see very well as we see things, but they have pits that pick up heat, I guess almost like infrared, not quite infrared, but they have heat sensitive vision, kind of the way dolphins see in ultrasound and the way bats see in ultrasound. Snakes see in a different manner. Some snakes, they can pick up the heat, have heat sensors and can pick up the heat. Their brain creates a picture of the heat given off by mammals, like by rodents. So different snakes. Lilac-breasted roller in the road was replaced by a dove.
Look at it quickly.
Was coming our way. Right, let me go back because it's into the sun. Stay there, child. Oh, now it's going to be behind leaves. Actually a beautiful time of the day to look at things, because the sun going down, we get side light rather than top light. Yeah, I don't know if it'll stay there, but we can try and get this side of it. Sadly, there's too much foliage in the way, just peeping out. That's actually a nice shot. If we can just get in onto the head with that leaf over its head, that's quite a nice photo. Not interested in my alarm calls. Let's find another nice picture of a roller now that we started on rollers and we have this lovely late afternoon sun. It's going to be a little bit more diffused. There's some lovely cloud, wispy clouds in the west. I wonder how long the steering's going to hold. I think it's going to hold for a long time. I've fixed it. Farmer fix. Adhesive fix. I glued it. Hiding. Oh no, I'm looking into that tree and trying.
No, that's why I don't understand why you're driving past.
Yeah, no, I blind as a bat. But it's this European roller that's making them. They're both European rollers. Sorry, I'm going mad. With that European roller at the back there in the sun. Fear them. They're like gangsters, European rollers. They roll across the top of the tree line in gangs, hunting.
Where's the one at the back?
Through there. Top of that Combriton there in the back there.
Oh, okay.
Sitting in the sun. Not as pretty, not as many colours as a lilac-breasted roller. Mostly just a lovely turquoise colour. These two sitting in the shade. I guess I was looking at a cluster of leaves that was in the middle of that tree, then I was thinking that was the bird. And this grasshopper sliding down like a fireman down a pole.
Where? Oh yeah.
Was eating the flower heads. Elaine asking us if crocodiles are common in our dams here at Juma, and sadly not, Elaine. I think if these dams manage to last for a couple of years, I mean this is the second season now in a row with water in the dams, and I think in time we might get some crocodiles coming in. We need another big heavy rain, wash down the drainage lines, crocodiles, giving them an opportunity to swim upstream and come and visit our dams. Can't remember the name of these grasshoppers. There are quite a lot of them at the moment. But in time, if we get a good few seasons in a row and the dams stay full and the drainage lines stay wet, there might be some young crocs heading up the dry riverbeds or these riverbeds and eventually settling in one of the dams. Crocodiles are breeding pretty well nowadays, and along the Sand River, although it's quite a distance away, it's not impossible that they'll make their way up here. There's some bustards in the road.
Is that a curry bustard or what is that? Is that a curry bustard?
No, curry bustard's about 20 times that size.
Oh,
Curry
that's a big
bustard's-
one.
Oh, those very big ones.
But these
These are
also
red
sound
crested.
like champagne.
No, that's the black-bellied.
Okay.
These are red-crested, male and female. Excuse me, children. Here another male. Make this male. Maybe not. As soon as we go by, he might sing. But
Okay, so that's the red crested. Then you get
black-bellied.
black belly, which makes like a champagne bottle
Yeah.
that pops, and then curry bustard, which are the big ones.
And the Stanley bustards are the big ones. You get white-bellied that are the same as this, and you get white. I think it's white-winged. Maybe that's East Africa. Sandgrass in the road. What is banded sandgrass? Pair of them. Birds that absorb water in their feathers, their breast feathers, to take home to the nest for the chicks. There was a third one in the grass. Sorry kids, coming through. Coming through. Elephant tracks. Which way they're going? Hopefully Buffelshoek Dam.
Only one now.
Hmm?
Only one elephant.
One big bull, yeah. Come on, Jigger, get it in gear. Get your gear together. Cycle is heading east, not west. He would have been at Gowrie Dam today. Sorry, Buffelshoek Dam, I mean. Talking about crocodiles moving around, I get a message from Penny back in KwaZulu Natal, one of our provinces in the southeastern part of the country, where we have a very famous canoe marathon on one of the rivers, and a crocodile was spotted at the Umgeni River mouth. About a 2-meter croc spotted by some canoeists that were practicing for the Doozy Canoe Marathon. That is quite interesting. That will make some of the canoeists canoe a little bit faster. There's a roller in the sun, a lilac breasted. And we're supposed to get to Buffelshoek to take a break. By the time we get to Buffelshoek Dam, it's going to be drive over. Okay, let's get there. I do need to cool my feet down. My feet are cooking. Leeches beware. Thank you, Patrick. And hello to Jack. I wonder if this is Long Island Jack.
Nice, I like Sam.
Sam, yes.
Hi Sam. Hi Sam, welcome on the drive.
And Sam was dubious about this being, well, skeptical, not dubious, skeptical about this being live. Well, that should have proved it. Just saying hello to Sam. But is this, I don't know, it could be another Jack. Or whether this is X-Dog. Hello, starlings. What you got? Both looking into the grass, but they weren't making a noise. Ah, thanks, Lee. Lee mentioned there was a small crocodile at Buffelshoek Dam last year. But I can remember seeing crocodile tracks at Twin Dams at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember seeing crocodile tracks in the Milwaukee when it was still quite damp. I think when I got back from leave. Which could put him at Buffelshoek Dam. Thing is with crocodiles, you see, they're very, very shy. And they have exceptionally good hearing and phenomenal eyesight. And any movement, if they're sunning themselves, this is something I've noticed with crocs here on the Sabi Sand, in this part of the world at any rate, as soon as they see movement, they slip into the water. And one of the best things to look for crocodiles, because they're likely to be hunting in the water at night, because they are more active at night, is to use a light and see if we could pick up the eyes. So maybe for one of our night drives we'll do some bypasses of some of the dams and see if we can pick up, especially here at Buffelshoek, see if we can pick up the eyes. And back again. Sound giving me such uphill today. Here we're approaching Buffelshoek Dam. I was saying that this end of Buffelshoek Dam on our right, that tapers to an end, tapers to the point where the water comes in. That's more or less likely where the crocodile is going to be hiding, rather than out there in the open. And just the sound and vibration of a vehicle will push a croc into the water anyway. So maybe one day I'll come and do a walk around the dam, see if I can find some tracks. Shouldn't be difficult. Able to find where a croc slid out of or slid into the water in the mud. We'll just take a quick look around before we switch to Gari Dam, and Herman and I are going to take a bit of a break. Something, Egyptian geese, I saw ripples. I thought maybe it was a crocodile slipping into the water. Hello, duck. No. Sound.
Should be fine now. 1, 2.
I think I've got to learn international sign language so that I can sign to you. It's not easy to learn that, but I think I can try. I've got a card somewhere with all the different signs on it. But anyways, we're going to take a break and stretch our legs. I'm going to put my feet in the water and cool down a little bit. Patrick will take you to Gari Dam. Maybe with a bit of luck, one of the boys will pop over the dam wall and go for a drink. And from here we're going to make our way back towards Gari Dam after our break and hopefully get to see Karula and the boys, or one of them, or at least a spot here and there in the bushes. So do come back to us, or do stay with us, and thanks for everything so far. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the jigger. It's getting pretty late. I didn't realize that we were running so late. And also, since we got such clear skies and just past solstice, our sun is going down. Well, I can't say late because 7 o'clock isn't late. Sun going down late is like 9, 10 o'clock at night for some of the northern extremes. Not extremes, no. Northern extremes, the sun just doesn't go down. Land in the midnight sun and all. But I think I can run maybe a little bit late today. Make up for a little bit of yesterday, but also make up for the fact that sadly tonight, folks, we're not going to be having Walala Wasala. Rex is feeling a little bit under the weather and he couldn't come in today. It was a bit of a disappointment putting my feet in at Buffalo's Dam. It was warm as bath water. Well, no, it's warm. It's comfortably, it's just warm. It's not very. It was cooler getting out of the water. And no leeches. I was trying to get back up to Guaripan to actually have a look at the sunset, but there's cloud out west and the sun's already just about gone. Time things better in the future. Make sure we're plug it. One on this one. I'll try and get to.
Where's the plug?
There's 2 crocodile clips. Let's just have a look at that last rays of sunset over the. Or maybe let me go a little further. Hello, dove drinking at Guaripan.
It's quite.
You don't get much of a reflection here. Tree frogs that are just building their nest too far away from the water. Those poor tadpoles are not going to have much of a little gap. Quite pretty colours actually, the layers. We're going to have a few more gaps. I want to try and get as close to Gari Dam as I can. I don't want to stop too much with sunset, but we will be seeing a few gaps where it's going to look nice as the colour changes and fades. Get onto Central Road and we'll be heading straight in, more or less straight into the sunset. So there was a buffalo at Buffalo's Dam. It was hiding around the corners, must have been in the water, because as I got into the water I heard some splishing and splashing behind a hill, behind a mound, and eventually he showed his face. Cokie Franklin. Stay there, child. Such a pretty little Franklin this. And we kind of get a little bit blasé with the Franklins because they're all over, but most of them are crested Franklins or Swainsons. This is one of the lesser known species, Cokie Franklin. Excuse me, child. Bring through. Excuse me. No, you can't run on the road. You need to run into the grasses. There we go. Bye bye. Be good. Some francolins flush when you get close to them, and some of them just huddle down and freeze. That's the Koki does. Temperature's dropped a little bit. Maybe it's only about 85. About 30 degrees. No, maybe not. Maybe it's high 20s now. Punzi! Oh, she's run away. Little Dacre. Thinking I wouldn't see her if she just sat still. Stood still.
What other dacres are there in the grey dacres?
Blue Dacre, red Dacre. Bunch of other Dacres with people's names on them.
Okay.
Now that's in South Africa. I mean, we can start talking worldwide.
But I'm sure they're not called dacres the rest of the world. Is it?
Yeah.
But a dacre is Afrikaans word.
It is. Well, I mean, we could say that like the diptychs are similar to dacres. But let me see what I got here. I suppose they're not all called dacres. Ogilvy's Dacre. I mean, look at this child. And there's a Bay Dacre. I mean, this is all Central and West Africa. There's a beautiful Bay Dacre. Oops. Gentinks Dacre. I didn't even know these things. Gosh.
That's quite cool.
Gentinks Dacre. Cephalophus. What else we got? Abbott's Dacre. There's a black Dacre. And look at yellowback Dacre. This is quite amazing. Got a lovely little crest on it. Look at this.
Mind your head.
Crest. Abbott's Dacre. That must be the yellowback Dacre. That's the Abbott's on the other page. What else have we got? There's a zebra Dacre. How's that for a Dacre?
That's awesome. I'd love to see
that is like serious West Africa. Let's see. Where's distribution here? Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, and Liberia. And these poor creatures are probably hunted to almost extinction out there. I'm sure there are some national parks where they white-bellied Dacre, also a very pretty little Dacre. Harvey's Dacre, the Ruwenzori red Dacre, the black-fronted Dacre, the red-flanked Dacre, Dacre, Ada's Dacre, a Natal Dacre, which
you see a Natal or not?
Yeah, I've seen one at I thought it was a red Dacre, but looking at it now, what's that place down near Port Shepstone? Big golfing estate. I stayed there once. Had
Port Shepstone.
Port Shepstone, past Ramsgate. Big fancy.
The West Coast.
No, South Coast.
Okay.
West
of
of
Port
Durban.
Alfred, sorry.
Still further east or further northeast of Port Alfred. I forget the name. It's a big golfing estate. I had a guest that was a regular guest and became very. There's the blue Dacre, also from the Natal coast. Maxwell's Dacre, bush Dacre. I mean, bush Dacre is actually supposed to be quite common, but it's never seen one in my life.
No, sure, all over the place.
Or maybe the bush Dacre is a grey Dacre. Ah, can't be.
That's not this. That doesn't look like a grey Dacre.
No, but I mean the distributions. It is basically a grey Dacre, but I think that reddish just doesn't Sylvicapia grimia. I don't even know the grey acres.
Can you make that drawings on the left?
No.
Okay.
Jonathan Kingdon does these things with a ballpoint pen.
Oh, wait.
He was a guest of ours in Selous Game Reserve, at Selous Safari Camp when I was there. And in our guest book, he made a couple of ink drawings. Like that. They're just phenomenally.
Did he actually make that as well?
Yes. Well, he does amazing. He goes out in the bush and he just takes paper and a blue ballpoint pen, and he just in 2 seconds he'll do something like that. Somebody out there, please do a Google on the grey duiker. Give me the scientific name, please. That's not a very nice picture of the grey duiker, but because it is such a wide distribution, it might have different color variations moving up through Africa. The common duiker. But there, Herman, does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much. I do like that zebra duiker.
Oh, that zebra duiker is beautiful. Thank you, Penny. Yes, San Lemire. But no, not Zimbali or whatever. No, it was San Lemire. And actually, that wasn't. It was more of a very close friend of friends of mine who own a lodge more than a guest. Francie Brandenberger. And Francie said, if you're ever on leave and you feel like going to the coast, here are the keys to my lovely apartments at San Lemire. And it was out of holiday season. I was one of the only people in this giant estate with and a beautiful forest to walk around, and I saw one of those duikers that I thought was a red duiker. I remember on the Sabi River there were reports of blue duiker or something. Also another small duiker, could have been red. Sorry, Franklin. Back in the 80s, there was rumored to be some very small duikers in the very thick areas there. Any mobile with Ingrid? I guess not. See if we can find these children before we go home tonight. We're on Central Road heading back towards the dam. I don't know if I'll be able to show you the moon tonight. Of course, it's much further away from Jupiter than it has been the last few nights. But getting closer to first quarter, it's getting closer to zenith. Straight up. We're about, looking at it, I'd say a day. Tomorrow will probably be first quarter.
No, tomorrow's... Not today's or first quarter already?
No, it can't be. There's still a bit of a crescent. Well, what it could be is at around midnight. Well, what is you got it on your watch?
Yeah.
I'll check the moon calendar.
Well, let me just make sure.
Me thinks it's tomorrow. and full moon on the 31st.
Maybe you can make more sense. Check it now, it says 6.6 and I think you can go up and down there.
6.6. Just what?
I'm not sure.
Up and down where?
The
Moon
right.
1223. On the right, these two.
Yeah, those two is next day or previous day.
7.6. Oh, that's got a light. Wow, fancy little toy this. Oh no, probably pressing the wrong button. Let me see, I'll have a look back at camp.
It's quite cool when I was down in Ventana.
Yeah.
I could actually see the tide.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been to Ventana.
Have you been to Ventana?
Oh, Glentana.
Yeah.
No, not Glentana. Where's Glentana?
Close to Kurt Brak,
Oh,
Mossel Bay.
I would have been past it on the way to Knysna. Go and see my folks.
Okay.
I thought you said Ventana, and I was going to make a wisecrack that I've been to Ventana because there's a Ventana wilderness just off of Big Sur in California.
Okay.
I went camping there for my birthday with Sandy when I was dating Sandy Kovnaski from Aptos. And Sandy was actually from Los Gatos, over the hill near San Jose, but she was living in Aptos when I went to stay with her. And in between our bat studies and bighorn sheep studies and other travels, we went to the Ventana Wilderness and found this little road that wound up a mountain and ended where a walking trail started. And we camped out there for it was a whole long weekend. It was Easter weekend. It was Easter weekend in 1996. Oops. Keep clipping that log when I come around that bend. I hear oxpeckers. There's something about, could be buffalo, could be elephant. No, not elephant. Could be rhino. Newly pushed up. Yeah. Well, maybe this picture is of a variety much further up, because Jonathan Kingdon is essentially East African, and maybe there's a variety that has more of a reddish front to it, but this is it, Sylvicapra grimmia. Same, Jonathan calls it just a bush duiker. Just his picture isn't very accurate. Okay, now we've got to look for leopards in these last moments. Egyptian goose on the dam wall, that's not very encouraging. Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. Where are you boys? drinking.
Wait till the Christmas lights.
Yeah, there.
Nicely spotted.
That's a bit better than Christmas lights, I reckon.
It is a lot better than Christmas lights.
Here we go, folks. Oh, off he goes. No, he's just turning around. Come and drink water. Oh, he's going to the toilet. Give him some privacy from the light. Maybe we got you just in time, and now he's waking up. Because a cat going to the toilet is a good sign that a cat's going to start moving after lying out for the whole day. I didn't get to see who it is yet. Let's see.
Looks
Is that
like
Karula? No, it's Induna. Hello, young man. Where's your mother? Where's mama? Oh, look at that. Come and drink water, boy. Okay, we got to turn around very, very quickly. For some reason I turned around and faced the other way.
He's almost there. He's almost up on the hill.
Okay. Well, steering is held very well this afternoon.
He actually waited for us.
He did.
Yeah, he's going to come
he
up.
paused.
Yeah, can you give me a little bit of light? He's going to come out just in that gap.
We're there.
Yep.
There he is. He's walking through that gap. Okay. He's going to actually go towards the camera. Maybe, Patrick, if you want to get the camera turned around this way, because he might come and drink maybe in front of the camera. That might be nice. Two different views. Yeah, here he comes. What you doing, Induna? I can see his tail. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. I suppose he doesn't want to just walk straight up onto the wall and expose himself, because if there's anything around they're going to give off alarm calls, and that can be detrimental. One thing I'm just looking at between me and the camera is the hardy-dar back in his perch on that dead tree. I guess we might be seeing all four of them, the whole family. No, it's a Hammerkorps, not even a hardy-dar. Oh, even more Christmas lights. While Induna's just while he's pausing and making sure it's safe to just pop his head out on the damn wall, let's just quickly go back and have a look at that. We saw some Christmas lights, but we haven't seen actually no trees in the way. We'll see it, I'm sure, over the next couple of days. But it looks really pretty. They've decorated one of the trees in front of the lounge area, dining area. Some really pretty lights. He's very hesitant about coming out. Don't blame him. You don't want to walk into something, and also you don't want to always duck back.
Tagging back now. Are you still there?
He's lying down. Just sort of.
There he comes, maybe.
No, he's actually down on the ground. He's lying down.
Give me a sec.
Pardon?
Give me a little bit more light on him.
I was just trying to move that. Well, that might do it. go any closer, we're going to force him to move. Just behind a few leaves from, what is that, Malva family, Malvasia. Hamerkop is gone. That's what he was watching, I think. He was watching that Hamerkop. Although that Hamerkop was way out on that dead branch, I don't know if he thought, maybe he thought maybe the Hamerkop would shout and scream if he showed himself. But now that the Hamerkop is gone, coming out. Thanks, Patrick. Was that Sue? Sorry, I was.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was just.
Nothing picked up before.
Come forward, you know what happened to the
Sue was just saying, asking what's going to happen Christmas Day. Well, just to let everybody know, our normal programming is pretty much the same throughout the Christmas New Year period. Still doing our normal drives. We will be doing morning PM drive on Friday and fireside chat on Friday. And I'm getting nervous because I'm doing fireside chat on Friday. It'll be my first fireside chat. I don't know, maybe I'll do some of my remarkable creatures on Friday. He's popping his head up again. Just been eating some grass. Grass helps with digestion, also helps force some of the internal parasites out of the gut, keeps the gut clean. And now, thank you, Chica, laying up on me like that. Behind this quarry at the moment. I think we need to go the other side of him and just have a look.
Yeah, it's chilling.
Yeah. Notice how every time he comes close to the damn wall, the ears go flat and he kind of crouches a little bit, just in case there's some impala or some animal around that he can potentially hunt. Let me just look with the light, see if I can pick up any eyes of anyone. I don't see anything close by. I think he doesn't either, so he's not crouching as much. Sound of, I think these are all bubbling casinas that we can hear. Lovely little frogs. Didn't bring my frog book. Not much point in bringing my frog book. My bag's heavy enough. Now with my grasses book. I haven't got the butterfly book with me, and I haven't got my insect book with me. We don't get to see many frogs. He heard you. Change hands. Arm's getting tired. What can you see, boy? Something interested him. Look at that lovely ears forward. Concentration, such a lovely expression on a cat. Let's move on. Maybe he's seeing sibling or mother. That's a black moon. Over. What are you seeing there, little boy? I'm not seeing anything myself. One thing about being out at night, we're not actually looking for an animal when we're looking with the light. We look for the reflection of the eyes. That will tell us if something's there or not.
It's moving again.
Yeah. Either it could be that he's not seeing anything. Could be he's actually hearing Karula calling. Might be possible. Could be. Jump on the log, boy. Out of the grasses. Jump on the tree. Take the light off of him so he can jump up. Come on. Up you get. Oh. Are we showing off or what? I'm going to have to move up a little bit for this.
Just like his mother.
Welcome to Wild Earth, everybody. The best live anything you'll get, TV or internet. You don't get better than this. So funny. I was watching. It's not that funny what happened, but I just happened to see Sky News this afternoon.
Moving.
Where a bus had gone off the road and then a police car, and Sky News of all people, was doing a live broadcast from the scene of this accident, and they were getting signal breakup.
How is it?
Exactly the same signal breakup that we get. Let's see. Any station coming to Ingwe? Not copying you? Just come up from the dam wall, heading west, going up towards Inga's house.
What's that nice strong smell?
It's like a wild aniseed.
Yes, it smells
Beautiful,
like
eh? I'm
It's
getting
refreshing, it's
chewed.
like-
Did you bring some tabard?
Huh?
Did you bring some tabard?
Yes, I did.
I'm getting chewed here.
I'm not actually. Can you believe it?
Well, down here in the wheel well. I'm still calling it a wheel well.
Do it as well, just in case.
Yeah, copying you now.
You got the Karula.
No, in Duna.
Where's your ship?
Heading west from the dam wall up towards quarantine between Inga's and Yuri's.
Okay, look, thanks.
Where was Karula?
Just close to this close to demo, so he's probably walking up towards it, and there's a whole bunch of needle bushes that side. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds, or rather looks like he's listening for something, so it could be he's heading up towards her. He's at that old little pan that doesn't have any water in anymore.
Okay, copy.
Needle bushes, I suppose Greg means the spike thorn.
Okay, a little bit to the right.
Put it in low range. I can just go a little bit slower and easier.
Oh, you lost one of the boys in this bush the other time.
There's that old dam next to us. We might get stuck in here. Let's see how this jigger is going to perform now, following a leopard again. With all the turning off road.
I think it's junction, it's on the right of it.
Johnny, come in.
Hello.
Where have you got Ngala?
There's a massaging girl here north of Chitwa. I don't know if she's still there. She was on Gary May earlier on.
Okay, copy, thanks. Anything else found on Western Gary today besides Ingwe?
I'm not going to know. I must just come meet you at Bikini Junction, some Comb, another Comb. The Nyaki, Gary Dam, and yeah, the whole Karula.
Would you like to
Thanks.
see them,
Sorry, yeah, no, it's just difficult holding it steady with the radio and
Yeah, I think you went
okay?
past that cat, man.
Very nice shot.
Okay, copy. I'll do you. I understand.
a lioness on Gary Main that went south.
People often complain about
The light shaking.
no, not at all. No, about summer. Because it's so green, it's hard to see the animals. But I really do like the picture if you see animal
yeah, with the green.
With the green,
The contrast is amazing.
absolutely amazing.
I think you might be looking for Mom. Squeeze through here maybe. How long we can stay with him. And hope that my job on the steering box is going to hold. Go through that gap there, you know. Leopard just wants to go through bushes. Just see his tail twitching next to me here. Sorry, boy. Oh, he's a bit nervous. I broke a twig and he didn't like that very much. Why? I suppose he's on edge because he's not with his mother and his brother.
He's walking circles now.
Pardon?
So it looks like he's going back again. Where is he? Oh no, he's just here.
Picking up the scent of something in there.
So their tails are very expressive.
Oh, they are.
So I'm lucky, it's my first leopard back from leave.
Yeah.
That's the Induna. The chief.
Getting closer to quarantine, it is opening up a little bit here. You see him through there?
Yeah. Just can.
Maybe I need to go a bit forward.
Oh, that'll be cool.
And
Chewing some more, eating some more grass.
yeah. Go ahead, info.
Yeah, for sure you could do it.
Affirmative.
Yeah, I'm on
Moving.
the way now. So you can stand for another couple of days.
Sure, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Mark, I'm also going to make my way there, son.
No problem. You're welcome. There's Mishu.
Oh yeah.
We've got another leopard. I just saw eyes and a tail further up. Playing hide and seek here.
Just on the other side of this
Yeah.
tree on the right. Yeah.
Going the wrong way, Induna. There, he's coming this way. Oh, that's Karula.
Karula.
Induna, you're going the wrong way, boy. Let's go with Karula.
Oh, there comes. Is that still Karula? Just
That's Karula.
11-0.
Only because she's looking hollow, because she's not getting as much as the boys. But she's going back down towards the dam now. Okay, Karula's here also. Just there's a lot more confidence in the way she moves to the way the boys move. Where are you going, girl? That was quite amazing. Induna must have been tracking by smell, and maybe she was calling.
Oh, there she is. Something.
Okay, I'm just going to scan, see if there's anything up ahead. Normally a lot of impala around here. We're just on below the edge of quarantine. She's actually making her way towards Yuri's house.
Give me some headlights, please.
Yeah. Oh, big log, big log. Looks like she was just calling right there now. Gonna yawn. Is she on the toilet? Back's hunched, arched a little bit as though she was, but no, I don't think so. Thanks, Patrick. Question from Destiny. I know we're getting quite late here, but there are guys coming to these leopard. It would be just good manners for me to stay here with her. Destiny was asking, we often see Karula calling the boys, wanting to know whether the boys answer her call back again, and they do. When she gets fairly close, they will reply. It also depends on age. I mean, earlier on, only when they get very close to her and they can be sure that she's close by, will they maybe answer her. In nature, you've always got this dilemma for animals that are vocal. Making a noise loud enough to be heard, but not too loud that it's going to be heard by everything else, unless you're a lion or something that doesn't really worry about those things. All stations, Karula slowly making her way in front of Yuri's place towards Vuyatela, and Nduna was heading back towards Inga's kayak. I've left Nduna, I'm staying with Karula at the moment, just in front of Yuri's. Extend our game drive a little bit. Make up for no Walala Wasala, perhaps. What are you after there, girl? Something there that she wants to get. Oh, it's a squirrel. It's a dead squirrel. She didn't kill it now. Maybe she stashed it earlier. And that's why she didn't answer. Maybe if Nduna was calling, knowing where she was. This is where the whole depends thing comes in with some of my answers. Destiny asking if the boys answered her. Could have been that Nduna was calling and she didn't answer. She snuck back here to come and find the squirrel. She might have stashed it earlier. Seems that she knew exactly what she was doing and gonna quickly have a snack without the boys present. And then maybe she'll go back and...
I know we so often say it, but how amazing is it that this leopard just does exactly what it would normally do?
With our presence.
If it had any problem with us being here, it wouldn't show us where it's...
No, but if it had any problem with us, it would just duck into a bush and lose us so quickly.
Yeah.
And I think this is an indictment on how, okay, some people call it habituation. I think there's a little bit of a negative slight negative, what was the word I was going to use? Connotation to that. I just like to know that they're just used to us, used to our presence in their lives from time to time, and they know that having grown up with us and through constant passive behavior by our vehicles, they know that we're not a threat, and well, of course they know we're not food, and those are the two main concerns of a leopard really, food or danger. Got a bush cricket on the bull bar. Tiny little thing. Or was it a katydid? Cleaning one of its whiskers. I mean cat mode whiskers, one of its feelers, one of its antenna. Could be a baby katydid, could be a katydids are long-horned grassland, could be a bush cricket. I'm going to try and move a little bit parallel to her while she's eating. But that squirrel she might have killed earlier today left. Yeah, go. Affirmative. He was in front of Inga's kaya. He was looking for Karula, just to the south of that old pan. I've got in Karula here eating marching down. You see my light? Or not? As soon as another vehicle arrives, we're going to have to leave anyway, but we've been very, very lucky.
Yes.
I think we've timed it nicely. Everybody was watching them earlier, just hiding in the bushes. I remember hearing on the radio the guys couldn't find them because the grasses were quite long. We managed to actually follow Induna a little bit, follow Karula, find her kill. Ephraim, try to come in front of me. You'll get a better visual from in front of me. Sorry. So Ephraim, try to come in front of me for maybe better visual. I'll go back a little bit. Okay. Get some side lighting. I'll let Derek and Beverly. Yeah. Maybe a little bit bright, but that's pretty cool. Books. Make sure I've got all my toys here. Okay, I see Graham coming, we better be on our way. Okay. She must have put that machine down there this afternoon or something.
Yeah, must be.
Because it was underneath that sasa there.
Yeah.
It was filler already.
Oh.
Okay. Enjoy your evening, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
What a wonderful way to end the day and end the drive.
My thoughts exactly.
Super special. Find the log. Crunch. Crunch. Try and make our way out here onto quarantine, and then I can say goodnight to everybody. And thank you, Jigger, for holding out on me. For me. Holding out for the drive. For we. Yes. When we say we wish you a Merry Christmas, we mean we. Wild Earth. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And a super prosperous New Year. 2010. I can remember at school studying. I was studying. One of our separate books for English literature was George Orwell's 1984.
That's an awesome book.
Yeah, but this was in the 1970s. So we all looked ahead to 1984 thinking, God, the world's going to be so different in 1984.
Don't you know, was it a 2010 Space Odyssey?
Yeah, 2000.
Was it 2010? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, one of Kubrick's best. I think it was. Yes. Bounce some light back onto my face. Oh, it's been a hot day. A little bit damp from all the sweat. Well, nothing like that to sort of brighten one's day and put one into a really good mood. And, sorry, turn the radio down. Herman, thanks for great camera work, once again, as always. Patrick, thanks for great directing work, steering the ship in final control. I'm Mark, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.
Good evening everyone, Patrick in Final Control. The drive is over. What a phenomenal drive with Lena, and eventually the mother popped out and then she had a snack, and it was very, very interesting drive, and thanks very much for joining and all your questions after sitting through. It was very interesting, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Good night, cheers, bye.